Give me the theme song.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback crack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Wind too swift, can't catch these dudes. Hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. It's Eagles talk live, let's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat shelling, I take the dark job. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur game, baby, let's get it on.
Hey fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight. Welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Again, let me repeat that. The #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. We are back. Oh, wait a minute. I'm putting up comments before I mean to. But we are back. We're back, man. Not a lot happening in the Eagles world, but NFL football season is fast approaching, and it's going to be upon us in a couple of weeks. Training camp is supposed to start. They had a little rumbling about how safe it was going to be for the players. So the union and the league had to get together and agree on some things before they can actually bring the season before us. And it looks like they have come to that agreement. So we're going to have football. I don't know the particulars on how everything's going to be done, but looking at the NBA, they have a tough act to follow if they're going to follow all the protocol and safety procedures that was put in place by the NBA. The NBA seems to be a very sound environment there, being that they're playing in the bubble. We're seeing a little glimpse of what the NLB is doing, baseball is doing, and they're not in such a bubble as like the NBA, but they're making it work with no fans in the stands and all of that. So I'm kind of curious as to see what the NFL is going to bring and how they're going to protect the players and ensure that the season can go on as normal as possible, because we know that we're not in normal times right now. This is not this is post-COVID. Pre-COVID was a lot simpler. Post-COVID is a lot more difficult to have professional sports going on. So we'll see how the NFL navigates that, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we have to have football. If there's no football, you think there were riots before. There will be towns burning down if we don't have football coming this upcoming season. So we'll see how the NFL handles it. But without further ado, let me bring my co-host in. I got one Sandlin brother, at least right now. I got Patrick Sandlin. What's up, Pat? What's going on?
Dante? What's going on, everybody out there? My brother be here shortly. He's the working man, so he'll be here shortly.
All right, okay. So let me get to a couple comments. Our third co-host tonight, well, our fourth co-host are you guys in the chat room. So we thank you guys for continuously supporting us and coming through every time we come on. I can't explain how much I'm overjoyed by seeing you guys when you guys show up when we start the show. So first person in the room tonight was Rich McCann, and he says, I think he's saying yes, but typo is one thing. It might have been a typo in there. Second in the room was Kevin Johnson, repping Eagles Nation from the DMV. My daughter lives down the DMV, so I'm thinking that you're talking about near the Washington D.C. area. Let me know, Kevin, if I'm wrong. Christopher Burton, what's up, family? Still at work getting this money. That's what's up. Watch us on your phone. Don't get fired, because we can't pay you your salary, but don't get fired. But yeah, definitely give us the support, Christopher. I know you're going to play it safe. Who else is in there? Back up. Charles Butter, Bird Gang. Gwen is in there. Gwen, what's up, Gwen? Hey, family from the NFC East, the Joint Lounge, and we thank everybody in the Joint Lounge that supports. Thank you, Gwen, for letting us post our show in your group. I appreciate that. Much appreciated. Bill Kroll is in there, who recently had a birthday. Bill, like to wish you a happy belated birthday. And Patrick's soon-to-be wife is there, and she says, "Hey, handsome." I wonder why she's calling him handsome. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that he's engaged to her. I don't know. I don't understand it. All right. Okay. All right. And indeed, Kevin Johnson said he is in the DC area. Drew is out there. He says, "What's up, fam? Go Birds." What's up, Drew? Thanks for tuning in. But before Patrick beats me to the punch, let me start this first quarter.
You're now listening to the first quarter.
All right. So if you are looking at Eagles Talk for the first time, if you're looking at us on YouTube, please just take a moment to go down and hit that like button on there, because we're trying to get subscribers. Hit the subscribe button and like our program, because we're trying to build our subscribers up on the YouTube side. So please, if you're watching from YouTube, and Drew is watching us from YouTube, Drew, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this. Let your friends know about what we're doing on Eagles Talk. But if you're new to the program, let me just explain a couple of rules here. This is an interactive show. Number one, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverages on the air. Yes, so it's not this is not some type of special effect or whatever. This is a bottle of alcohol, adult beverage. Yes, and it says Uncle Nearest because this week I am partaking in the Uncle Nearest 1884. And my partner is partaking in, that looks like wine. Oh, okay, all right, no, that's Jameson. Okay, I see it.
Brand new bottle.
All right, so my co-host is partaking in the Jameson Irish whiskey. So let me know what you're partaking in because this is an interactive show. So if we do a shot, we would like you guys to do a shot. We will also like you guys to drink responsibly. So I'm in my home. Patrick is in his home. Make sure you guys are safe and you're not behind the wheel of a car. And join us as we start this first quarter. So everybody raise your drink. Let me know in the comments what you're drinking. All right. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
That's so nice when it's cold. That is so nice when it's cold.
Whoa, that was mine wasn't cold. All right, so before we jump into it, if you've been watching my social media anyway, I have a new look here. I got my new glasses.
You're taking it back to the 80s.
I'm taking back to the 80s, and I'm going back to the time where I wore glasses at all times, and I'm going to wear glasses from here on out. Maybe contact lenses on special occasions, but I think I'm past that age of contacts all the time. I need my glasses. I need my damn glasses. And I'm at an age now where even when I put on the contacts, I need reading glasses. So I just said, man, forget that. If I'm going to have to put glasses on, let me just wear glasses all the time. So I got the glasses, the fresh gazelles. I got the fresh cut and everything. All right, let me see. You can't see a fresh cut till you show the outline. So I had to show the outline right here. So I'm lined up real good and everything. So this is the new look. Thanks for tuning in. Drew said he's drinking a red Kool-Aid. The red Kool-Aid sometimes could be stronger than what we're drinking. So you have to specify what you got in the red Kool-Aid. Toby Cooper is out there. He says, "What's up, fam?" Thanks, Toby for tuning in. It's just me and one Sandler boy right now. But let me just tell you this. I'm going to have to catch up, and I know it's going to make Patrick a little salty right now, but I had the pleasure of having one of the Sandler boys come down to the homestead in Delaware. He was in, and the only reason, and I have to say this because Pat seemed to be very upset about this, but he called me on, he reached out to me on Saturday. He said, "Dante, I got to bring my wife down to Dover. We got to pick up some things. Can we slide through?" I said, "You're always welcome. You can slide through." Although I was out at the moment, I was just around the corner at a buddy's barbecue. So I said, if you're going to come through, I'll come home and we can do that. I did mention to him that my wife wasn't home. She was out. And at that point, he's like, "All right, well, look, your wife's not home. I got my wife with me. I'm not going to come through Saturday, but we have to return on Tuesday. So is it okay if we stop through Tuesday?" I said, "All right, Tuesday's good. My wife will be home. I get off at 4. Yeah, come through Tuesday." So he did. Sal came through, and if you saw my social media, you saw that I posted some pictures. He came through on Tuesday. And admittedly, I forgot all about it. And he called me. He said, "Yo, we're on our way down, man. It's like 2:00. I'm like, "Damn, I forgot all about it. I didn't take anything out to put on the grill." I was like, "All right, well, come on through, boom, boom, boom." He said, What, you need me to bring something?" I said, yeah, well, if you could, because I forgot. So my cousin, in the manner he is, you don't know Shell. If anybody knows Shell knows. Shell does things big, big. So I said, "Yeah, you want to pick something up?" He said, "Well, what don't you guys eat?" I said, "Well, we eat everything. We, because some people don't eat beef, some people don't eat pork and all that." I said, "We eat all that." So he said, "All right, I'm going to go grab some stuff." He shows up at the house. He has 4 thick porterhouse steaks and 4 nice sized lobsters. My wife said, "Well, what's he bringing?" I said, "I don't know. I'll ask him." He said, "I'm bringing surf and turf." So I said, "I don't know what, Surf and Turf is the shell, but I know it's going to at least, I knew it was going to at least include steak. So I said he's going to bring Surf and Turf. So I know that at least includes steak. So he's going to have steak and some type of seafood. I didn't know what the seafood was going to be. But when he showed up, it was lobster and all that. And I was like, wow, he really showed out. And big ups to Shell. He's not here now. I told him I was going to give him a pass because he did show up with steak and lobsters, but I don't know, how long that pass is going to last because he's late Dante, to the show.
I got to do this, man. I've been tweaking some things on the soundboard, and I got to throw the flag on the play. Listen, man. Listen. Penalty on Shelman Sandlin in the third, all right? So we did this show here last week, right? In my new apartment. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Shell showed up with his wife Mercedes, my sister-in-law, and they gave us a nice little gift, me and my fiance. Now I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. And it was a nice little shirt that he gave me, my lady, and but those tomahawks, man, those porterhouse steaks and that lobster. Listen, listen. I looked at that thing. I'm like, what?
I was surprised. He went to a butcher shop. Like he didn't go to the. Like I get my steaks and I get good cuts too. I get a good cut of steak from Sam's Club. I get a good cut, the bulk cut pack of steak. I buy ribeyes. So at least comes at least 4 in the pack or whatever. Good, like at least an inch thick, maybe an inch and a half. He went to a butcher shop and actually got his porterhouses, cut right on the site. An inch cut porterhouse steaks. I was like, wow, I'm impressed, yo.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say this, man. I know there's a lot to talk about in regards to the Eagles. Talk about Shell coming down there, rookies reporting, Jalen Mills talking about the best shape of his life. The Washington football team, or AKA WTF, even Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. But we gotta talk about this, Dante, because I know you're a hip hop fan. I'm a hip hop fan because you're a DJ. But 2 nights ago, that DMX versus Snoop Dogg. Man, that was very interesting. I was on my balcony going crazy, and my neighbors was looking at me. My lady had her friends over. They was watching it because I put it on a big screen TV, and I said, you know what? I need some more wine. I need some more Jameson. I ran out to the spirit store and got me some more for the ladies and one for me. Man.
Yeah, that was entertaining. And I didn't see it live. I think I was in Philly doing some work, but I did see the replay, and that was very entertaining. Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a North guy, but I think Snoop gave him work, yo. I think it wasn't.
Snoop gave him work. You know what?
Snoop gave him work, yo.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to hear some of those songs I haven't heard in a while. I mean, some of the songs I play on the regular. But some songs I didn't forget about. I just don't play them because maybe I don't have the clean version. Right, you know how that goes. If I'm not in the club or something like that, most of the time DJs right now have been shut down in club wise. So you virtual things. You got to have clean. That wasn't happening. And man, shout out to DMX, man. That dude went from went from lean cut. I mean. Stop being greedy to I'm about to be on Biggie size because this dude blew up.
Yo, that was look. Every time it up here, Fat DMX is the man. Snoop and X look like 2 drunk uncles at the cookout. That's very accurate. That's very accurate.
Snoop had the funniest thing. You said no. DMX said we look like because Snoop said if DMX take his shirt off, they're gonna take a shirt off for freestyle or something like that. DMX said, man, we can't do that. We're going to like the number 10.
Yeah. Yeah, it was entertaining. It was very entertaining, man. But that was a great matchup right there. That was entertaining. Regardless of who won, just to go down memory lane with both of those artists there. And if that didn't do anything, it showcased the fact that both of these guys were stars and had extensive hits during their tenure when they were hot and all that. And it was just a pleasure to hear their catalog in that format and all that. Some things you might not have heard in a while, but it was some bangers in there. It was some bangers on both sides, and I applaud them for putting that together. That was great.
Yeah, I definitely applaud them for doing that. Just doing it for good music. I just moved in here, and I think they might kick me out because I got my speakers up. I was
it was great. All right, going back to Eagles talk. I mean, yes. Eagles news here today. I talked a little bit, and I'll touch on this a little bit more. The NFL has finally gotten with the NFLPA, and they've come up with some agreements on how they're going to roll out the season and the safety of the players and stuff like that. So they seem to be on board. I was a little disappointed going into this week or hearing some talk about this week because out of all the leagues, I expected the NFL to come through because I just felt, and I say it often, I feel like outside the government, the NFL is the next most powerful entity in America. And so I just suspected that they will be playing football. That was just never a doubt to me. But as things start getting closer and I start hearing like they didn't have anything comprehensive in place, such as the NBA did on how they were going to approach safety and being compliant with the COVID-19 pandemic going on, it was kind of disappointing to hear that they weren't ahead of the game because they had the most time out of all the leagues to get this right. NBA had to shut down mid-season. NHL had to shut down mid-season. The MLB baseball was in the middle of training camp. They were about to break spring training and start the season, and they had to put everything on hiatus. The NFL was the only entity where their start of the season wasn't until months later. So I felt like they should have had every I dotted, every T crossed because they had the most time to get ready. Their season hadn't even started. They had time to put things in place before their season even started. The NBA, like I said, NBA, NHL, they had to kind of stop mid-season and shut everything down and then figure it out. But the NFL had time. They had a lot of time to get this stuff right. And from them to have dragged their feet and not have things in place, I was a little disappointed and a little worried on whether this season was going to even be played or not, because to me, it's ridiculous that you had that much time and you weren't ready. All right. Well, that's the first quarter. We'll continue that.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right. So that's the end of the first quarter. We thank you guys again for joining us on Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. I'm not saying we're better than NFL Network. I'm not saying we're better than the ESPN, NFL Live, and all that. I mean, I would like to say that, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that we are the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by fans for fans. There's no broadcast journalists on our show. We're just fans such as yourselves, drinking a little bit and talking about our favorite football team. So if you're new to Philadelphia, if you're new to Eagles Talk, you need to know we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a manner that we get drunk or we enjoy our favorite adult beverage.
We get Rick and Marty drunk. Let me say that right now. Anybody out there, anybody watch Rick and Marty, I get Rick drunk right now because I'm in the crib. I ain't going nowhere.
All right. So it's been said. We get that way. We get turned up. So if you want to get turned up with us and talk about football, and we do it in a informed manner, please join us. So I'm partaking in the Uncle Nearest 1884. My co-host is partaking in the Jameson Irish whiskey. Let me know what you're drinking, and let's do this for the second quarter.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
3, 2, 1, down the hatch. All right, so like I was finishing up in the first quarter, I was just a little a little disappointed that they hadn't worked that out, but it seems that it's going to go forward. I don't know. It doesn't seem as though they have everything, all their I's dotted and T's crossed, such as the NBA, because the NBA is like they're leading the charge on this for me anyway. From what I'm seeing and what they're doing in the bubble and stuff like that, they seem to be like on board with this, with trying to keep this thing at bay. And
well, let's look at it like this: the NBA has a small out of all the three major sports, or four major sports, I should say, with the NHL, they have the smallest roster per team. So it's much easier to put a team into a bubble per se in one area of the country and do what they're doing to start their season. When it comes to baseball, baseball is leading is coming right up, the side of the NBA, because they're doing it right too. They're doing it actually. They are testing when you get off the bus, when you get into the field, when you get off the field. They're testing multiple times, just like the NBA's testing. NFL, they had the rookies report Thursday, which was yesterday. They should have had these guys come in and get acclimated to being in their cities, and they should have did this nationwide with all the teams. Had them test for 2 weeks, and had today or Thursday be the day that they get the okay to start their training camp. They're behind the 8 ball, but you know what? When you watch basketball, you watch baseball, being as though that the football is going to start a little bit later, they are basically going to learn from the mistakes that these organizations make. And they are behind the 8 ball, and we expect them to be much better going forward, because it is a national pastime, and we will ride it if there's no football. We need better guys thinking ahead going forward.
Yeah, we do. I'm going to answer this because this guy asked a question here. Rick Long says, Who's a better backup, Trey Burton or Dallas Goedert?
Ooh,
Dallas Goedert. I'm sorry, Dallas. It's Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas is
because Dallas could do more. I'm sorry, he can. He can
Trey
block.
Trey Burton did give you that vertical threat with Zach Ertz, but Dallas Goedert is that prototypical tight end that you want. He can block, he can catch the ball, he can break tackles, he can run after the catch. He got yak. Trey Burton is, he's somebody that's definitely a third tight end in this league, but he could be a very productive third tight end. Put him at a starter. He's not a starting tight end. You got to realize this guy was a quarterback back in college, man. This guy was a quarterback back in college. So he's still new to the position of tight end. With that being said, like you said, Dallas Goedert is a much better tight end.
Yeah, I agree. Ricky Long is trying to bring up the fact that he threw the touchdown, and we're very appreciative that he threw the touchdown. But
he's a quarterback.
He was a former quarterback, and I'm happy that he did that. But if I'm going to look at skill set and all that, I'm going to take Dallas Goedert. Burton's an athletic freak. I mean, not for a tight end, he's very, very athletic. I'll give him that. But I don't, and he may be just a tad bit more athletic than Dallas. But Dallas, like you said, Dallas has the full tight end package. He can stay in. When Trey is in there, it's not too much. It's not too much of a mystery that there may be a pass coming up, because he's not an excellent blocking tight end. So it's either going to be maybe a play to him or a pass play, period, because he's not that traditional. You put two tight ends set on and a running down, and you want him to block. He's not that dude that you're going to ask to carry the running game. So just for that alone, I'm going to give the nod to Dallas Goedert. And thank God that we have him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so good. Like, we're talking about, like you just said, Trey Burton is probably a third tight end at best, or second on some teams or whatever. But we're talking about Dallas Goedert is a definite starter in this league. If he lands on any other team outside of us, Kansas City, and San Francisco, he's probably a starting tight end. Those are the three spots where he's not going to start at tight end. But outside of that, he's probably going to be a starting tight end on 90% of the teams that he goes to.
If he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy, it just happens to be that he's on a team with maybe the one of the top 3 tight ends in the league is on. So he's not going to start here.
Hey, can you do this favor? It's a comment made by Stephanie. I love this comment. And it's a responsible comment. If I wanted to stay sober, I wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah, drunk. I put that on there. If I wanted to stay sober, I wouldn't have gotten drunk.
I need that on a shirt, man. Listen, the way we set up in this league, far as tight end wise, Trey Burton is that hybrid tight end. He's 6'2". He's around 240, 245. So yeah, he could put him in different situations. But when you need somebody to have that ability to come off and look like he's blocking all the time, then release, he doesn't give you that. Like you said, when he comes in the game, you know something is going to transpire. You know it's going to be a pass game. In Chicago, if he can stay healthy, that's the thing about him. You got to stay healthy. We talking about our team being one of the most injury-plagued teams in the NFL. Some of these players, yes, they're injury-prone, and I hate to say it, Trey Burton is one of those guys.
Yeah, I would have to say the same thing. So just this does slightly relate to the Foles Wentz argument, whereas people want the Foles here, and one of my biggest reasons not to have Foles here was that he doesn't play a whole season. I'm sorry. I love everything that he's done. He's big time clutch. I'm going to give him that. I'm not going to take that away from him, but he's a clutch quarterback in big time situations. I give him that. He won the Super Bowl, but overall his career, he's not a quarterback that's going to finish a whole season for you. So although at the time people worried about Wentz's his injury history or whatever, he had only been in the league 2 years, his 3rd year. And I said he's going to be okay. And I think he's proved that to somewhat, because he's played 4 seasons. Out of 4 seasons, he's played complete seasons in 2 out of 4 seasons, whereas Nick Foles has never played a complete season out of 8 years or 9 years in the league. He's never completed one whole season. So Trey Burton is kind of like that. He's not played a full 16 games, and he's kind of injury prone. So that on top of what the other things I said about Dallas Goedert, being a more complete tight end as far as blocking, being able to take advantage of mismatches in passing routes, and just being a bigger, stronger receiver. I think that gives him the edge over Burton. So
it's a question out there by Ricky Long again. And it's replying to Demetrius Valdez comment. So now, who do you keep, Ertz or Goddard? Demetrius basically said one of these guys is going to get traded in the offseason. I don't see a scenario where you can't have both of these guys back next year. I mean, they work well together, and if you want to continue to see, especially if you have a successful season this year, I don't know if they get in their head, success over money. Because you have players that chase the money and they don't have the success after that,
Yeah, I'm not going to say I disagree with that, because Ertz is going to be coming up on a extension, and it could be very costly because, like we just said, we consider him one of the top 3 tight ends in the league, and we look at the other 2 tight ends on what they're getting paid. It's probably going to cost us a lot to keep Ertz in the fold unless he takes a team-friendly deal. And if it comes to paying him mega bucks, and we got some dollars out there as far as Carson Wentz is concerned, and our D line is eating up a lot of the salary cap right now. I see one of them not being here next year.
Yeah, I think Malik Jackson might not be here next year.
Hargrave and
Hargrave's going to be here. Hargrave is young.
They are eating up the defensive line. They're all like in the top 10 salaries of defensive linemen. So I see one of them not being here next year, but I can see maybe where Ertz might be costly to the team, and he's a great guy in the locker room, excellent player. We know that top 3 tight end in the league. I would love to keep him, but to give him his market value will be definitely detrimental to the salary cap. So I can see possibly, considering moving him and keeping Dallas and maybe adding another second tight end to Dallas. I can see that. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying some scenarios, some hard scenarios that you have to look at, that Howie has to look at every year, basically. Every year he has to look at decisions like that. That's going to be a tough decision. All right.
It's definitely going to be a tough decision. We need in this quarter, though.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so we've ended that quarter. Start the third quarter.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, third quarter. You're watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. You have got a sneak peek into the new look of The Dark Knight in 2020. I got the new focals. I got the throwback Cazelles. People that are older than you won't know about this. They won't know about these Cazelles. These Cazelles are designer frames from back in the day. I got the fresh cut to go along with them. If you look at the outline, I got the outline sharp and all that and everything. I know my co-hosts usually come in with their sharp haircuts and all that. They're a little younger than me, but I got one. I got a new look going on and everything, and I'm ready to go into this to this new season here. So,
yes,
you're watching Eagles Talk. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so while we get drunk. Yes, exactly. So
it's
I am
Friday night too, man.
Uncle Nearest 1884. He is doing the Jameson Irish whiskey. My neighbor is back. Are you back, Dwight? Dwight is chiming in. Are you back? Because nothing happens around this neighborhood without Dwight. If Dwight's not here, because he's the only one. He has the clubhouse. His house is the clubhouse. Wow. So he said, Joe Dark Knight, are you back? Because as soon as I get off the show, I'm coming over and I'm lighting up a stogie. So I need to know if you're back, because I could do it on the deck, but I like to do it amongst friends. Okay, he said he's back. Okay, all right. So let's turn up. I'm going to go past third. I've only been doing the halftime, but I'm going to go.
Look at you.
I'm going to the third round. It's Friday. I can do third quarter now. It's Friday. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Okay, all right. So here we go. Everybody, raise your drink to the Philadelphia Eagles and down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
Yes. I love Jameson, man. I don't know what it is about it.
Bill Crow is coming at me. I got to put his thing up here.
Uh-oh.
He says, y'all remember the Fat Boys? Ha, them glasses. Okay, all right. So you say my
kick
glasses
it.
like the Fat Boys.
Kick
Okay,
it.
all right.
Kick it. Kick it. What?
All right, Dwight, you are at Cigar. You need to come home now, because as soon as this show is over, I want to smoke a stogie. So you're not going to be home.
Yo, we gotta do a show down there, man. What's going on? We gotta do a show down there, man. Keep talking about the cigars down there.
And that's my bro right there. We gotta do a show from Cigar Lounge in Wilmington, Delaware. It's a cigar lounge.
Oh, Scotty, yeah. I know.
You been to Cigar?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. My frat brother owns that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I know who he is. We'll talk about offline.
Yeah, we'll talk about offline. Because some of my frat brothers are also your brothers. So, we know you guys have been around longer than us.
Listen, we all family. It don't matter.
Yeah. All right. So, Ricky Long says, who's the one player that needs to step up the most this season? All right. Let's just address that. Everybody in the room, tell Corey I said hi to, Dwight. Everybody, join in on this. Who's the one player that needs to step up the most this season? You want to start?
I'll let you start, because I know what I'm going to say, but I want to hear what you're going to say.
I'm going to narrow it down, since I'm it's kind of short notice. If I'm going to narrow it down, I'm going to say Barnett.
Derek Barnett. Okay.
Derek Barnett.
Okay.
Because we have a very solid defensive line, right? We consider the interior defensive line, the interior of our defensive line is the strongest, with Fletcher Cox possibly one of the top two interior defense linemen in the league. I mean,
he is. He's right behind
Aaron. It's Aaron
Donald. Yep.
Donald, and then it's him, right?
Mhm.
Then we have Hargrave, very, very highly rated interior defensive lineman, and Malik Jackson, who didn't even get a chance to play last year. So we have a very solid interior defensive line. And when you look at our defensive ends, Brandon Graham has been rated one of the highest defensive ends in the league for the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we're solid. 3 out of the 4 spots are solid. You know, people are talking about possibly getting a Clowney or a Griffin Everson
or Jamal Adams,
or Jamal Adams or the guy from Jacksonville to solidify this line. But if Derek Barnett can live up to what we drafted him to be, I mean, he was the record breaker at Tennessee. He broke one of the beloved Eagles on our teams, Reggie White. He broke his record in college.
He was dominant in college.
He was dominant, right? So if we can play up to that would, I mean, come on. Forget who we have in the secondary. Yeah. If our defensive line can get that type of rush right there, they're going to make anybody we have in the secondary look like Pro Bowlers right now. You know
I can almost agree with you. I could almost say I agree with the assessment that Derek Barnett needs to step up. He needs to be the one individual player. If my brother's here, he would definitely say somebody like Corey Clement, Miles Sanders, or even Carson Wentz. I'm not going to the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to stay on that defensive side of the ball because it's very important. I'm not even going to talk about Sidney Jones, who I said is going to have a very breakout year this year. I'm gonna go right to the Green Goblin. Green Goblin was a safety in college, and he was a very good safety. From what he did in college, he was projected to go in the 2nd or 3rd round as a safety, not a corner. Now you got that ability. You're stepping in big shoes. You step in the shoes of Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins stepped in the shoes of Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins stepped in the shoes of Andre Dirty Waters. We have a precedent at safety here in Philadelphia, and you need to have an outstanding year. I know you're a friend to the show, and being as though you're a friend of the show, I know you're going to ball out this year. And I say that to say this. For all the talk about us wanting to trade all the chips in to get Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams is an outstanding football player, but Jalen Mills has the same skill set at safety that Jamal Adams has. We never use some of our players the right way, and that's our issue. Some of the coaches look at these players and they put them into positions that they shouldn't be put in. Prime example, Rasul Douglas. I love his ball skills. He has great ball skills. He has great instincts as a corner. But as far as the NFL, he needs to be a safety. He needs to be a box safety. If you can remember Michael Lewis, when Michael Lewis was paired with Brian Dawkins, and we had that tandem back there with 3 of our defensive backs, the only person that didn't go to the Pro Bowl was Sheldon Brown, who should have went.
Yeah, you're right.
All 3 of those was Leo Shepard, Michael Lewis, Brian Dawkins, Pro Bowlers. Rasul Douglas is a Pro Bowl safety, just like Jalen Mills can live up to that. Be an all. Now I'm saying this. I'm not saying Pro Bowl. It's a difference between a Pro Bowl.
Wait. Let me just stop you right.
Wait a minute. Only 3 shots in. I'm good.
Douglas is a Pro Bowl safety.
No. I'm not talking about Rasul Douglas. I said Rasul Douglas. If you put him at the right position, which is safety, he could be a very good safety, right? He could possibly been a Pro Bowl safety, but that's not the case right now. The thing about it is Jalen Mills has the instinct to play, to be an outstanding safety. He has the ability to be an all-pro safety. An all-pro safety is much better than a Pro Bowl safety. Do we agree?
Right.
He has that ability, being that he played corner in this league and actually played pretty decent. He got burned on double moves. You always say double move this, double move that. But besides the double moves, he actually played pretty decent at corner. Now you move him to safety because he's physical. He has the ability, he has the gumption, what they say, to be the one of the best safeties in the NFC this year. If he plays up to that billing of him coming out of college and he's hunkering down, following Malcolm Jenkins' blueprint that he put out here and Brian Dawkins' blueprint. Listen, in a few years we're gonna be talking about Jalen Mills and K'Wan Wallace, the best safeties in the league. I love McLeod, but McLeod's at the end of that rope right now.
Yeah, he's starting to be at the end of the road. He's plus 30 something, but he's going to be a key player this year.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some comments out there that support what you're saying. Jalen Mills, Ricky Long says Jalen Mills. Daphne Nicole says Jalen Mills.
Mm-hmm.
Sue says Green Goblin. So there are people that agree with what you're saying. Green Goblin is going to be one of the players we are most looking forward to succeeding this year. We're going to have an eye. I say Barrett, but there's a couple. I could have easily said Jalen Mills also, but being put on the spot so short notice and all that, I said Derek Barnett because we are looking for another outside rusher there. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said him. But it could easily very well be Jalen Mills because he's stepping into a Malcolm Jenkins shoes. Mm-hmm. And we know how important Malcolm Jenkins was to this defense and all. But I think me personally, all right, so do I think Jalen Mills is going to be Malcolm Jenkins? Maybe not. No. Maybe not the first year. Maybe not even the first half of the year. Maybe the second half of the year he may look like him. But to think that he's going to come out the gate and look like Malcolm Jenkins and just it's going to be seamless, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But if it happens down the line, I think that's more realistic to think that maybe after a half a year that he can put it together and play like that because his skill set is set for safety. And definitely by next year, I think he'll be set in that. But this year, I think the more pressing need is that pass rushing. And because of that, I'm going to give Jalen Mills a pass because our defensive pressure off the defensive line should be a lot better than what it was last year if everybody stays healthy. Sure. If everybody stays healthy. We didn't have Jackson last year. And we brought him in depending heavily on him, Malik Jackson helping out Fletcher Cox, and that didn't happen because he got hurt early on. Now, the chances of all three of them getting hurt is probably not high. So now I'm thinking that the defensive line is going to be much improved as far as rushing the passer. You know what I'm saying? As far as rushing the passer, I think they're going to be much improved this year over last year. Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson, Hargrave down in the trenches along with Brandon Graham. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said Barnett is going to be that X factor. If he can bring it like we expected him to bring it when we drafted him, I think it's going to bode well for our secondary. It's going to bode well.
I agree with you because I know we're in a little overtime of the third quarter, but when you look at the whole landscape of the team, the whole foundation is on the defensive line. You know, the whole foundation of the defense is on the defensive line. It's not predicated on linebackers. Darius Slay is a definite number one corner in this league. Our safeties are there for support, but our defensive line makes it happen. Especially
all right, start the fourth quarter.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
Regardless, I didn't know if we ended the third quarter, but I'm not going to
end the quarter. Oh, you gonna smoke a cigar, man? Do a half what?
Because basically I'm out, so I don't have anything right now.
Oh, tell the people how the Uncle Nearest is, man, because I need to get me a bottle.
Nearest is really good. This is a good brand, but this is not even the top brand. They have an Uncle Nearest 1850 something.
I think it's 1864.
Yeah, that's an even higher proof because this is 93 proof. The The other one is like 100 proof. So it's stronger, but even in it's stronger, but it's more smooth. It's smoother than it is the 1884 is. So I would definitely suggest you guys go try the other one also. This is not bad. This is good also, but the 1864 is smoother and is stronger. So I would definitely tell you to try that. My partner's doing the Jameson Irish whiskey, and we're going to go to a couple questions out here. So let's raise our glass as we start this fourth quarter. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Out there, and Ricky Long is loving us right now because he's the only one putting the questions out there. Do you guys ever think that if T.O. and McNabb would have worked together, how many Super Bowls we would have by now? All right, this shouldn't be that long. It shouldn't take a whole quarter, but
I'm gonna let you talk because this. You know, let me go. Listen, they had the opportunity to be one of the best quarterback wide receiver duos in the NFL. Donovan's ability to get the ball to T.O. was almost uncanny. This guy had 3 touchdowns the first time he stepped foot as a Philadelphia Eagle. I mean,
and not to mention, I'm gonna just put this in there. I'll let you go. Not to mention, he had 3 touchdowns when they knew he was the primary target. That's big right there. It's one thing to get touchdowns, but it's one thing to get touchdowns when they know that they're going to you.
Yeah. Well, it's different. Like you just said, when you have Freddie Mitchell, Todd Pinkston, Greg Lewis as your other receivers, but yet you still almost get 18 touchdowns. I think he had 13, 14 touchdowns in that year on a broken leg. Like, that's uncanny. Donovan basically he didn't have to throw deep ball passes to Terrell. All you had to do was throw a short hitch to Owens, and he would take it to the house. I mean, his physical ability, his mental ability was there. That combination for years would have been something special. It would have been almost like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice / Steve Young and Jerry Rice / Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison / you name it. I mean, that combination would have been dominant in this league. They would be rewriting record books right now. These quarterbacks and receivers be looking up to their stats. Would they got to another Super Bowl? I don't know. I mean, let's be real. For all the talk we talk about our offense did put up some points, but our defense did kind of let us down here and there. So I don't know what might have happened over the years if we were able to keep T.O. and keep an even kill between him and Donovan. 2 alpha males trying to jockey for position as the top dog in the organization.
Yeah, well, to answer that question, how many would we have gotten by? I think we would at least have gotten 2 Super Bowls. And not counting the 2004 because they were still pretty close then. There was no rift between them in 2004. So I'm going to count that as we would not have gotten that even if they gotten along better because they were getting along good in 2004. But had they continued that relationship and been on the same page, we could have possibly gotten 2 more Super Bowls. In 2005, 2006, it would have been a totally different scene if T.O. would have still been on the team. Number one, in 2005, had he not gone through the driveway of doing push-ups and all that, I think we would have been back in contention of the Super Bowl then. And beyond that, 2006 would have been a possibility also. So if I had to look at out of those, I would say maybe we might even got 2.
Look at this, man. Just understand this. He signed a 7-year contract with the Eagles when he came over. He never became a free agent. Let's make sure we get that straight. He came to us through arbitration. He would have been 7 years. So he would have been here if we would drafted the same players we drafted. He would have been here with Deshaun, LeSean, and maybe even Jeremy Maclin. Can you imagine that? Terrell Owens, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, LeSean
Shut
McCoy.
up, Dwight. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's all right. That's your neighbor. So your neighbor, we be down there short. I'll be down there. And,
You can't badmouth Dwight so bad because Dwight is the cigar aficionado. When you come down here,
no, listen, man.
I'm telling you,
you know, I do cigars.
You know where we are.
Yes,
cigars.
Yes.
I have had a peek into his secret stash. If you've seen what I've seen, you will.
Listen,
This guy has.
I seen some almost look like they should open their own store in their basement. Type
yes, definitely, so, definitely that.
I mean, I respect that because that's dedication to the it's a lifestyle. It's a dedication to the lifestyle of cigars because these prices for cigars sometimes can get outrageous, and sometimes you find the best cigars at the cheapest prices.
Dude, he out of the top 25 cigars off of Cigar Aficionado's 2020 list, he's got at least 10 of them. He's got at least 10 of them in the stash. Like that's not his directly.
Wait a minute,
they're in the stash.
He's not a WTF fan, is he?
No, he's a
Washington football team fan.
No, he's a Chicago. I mean, not Chicago. A Giants fan. He's from New York, so he's a Giants fan.
Oh boy. I got to hit you with my homie Hackett. They're both Giants fans. But you know what?
Noble who? What's my man?
Noble Hackett. Yeah,
Hackett.
Yeah. Speaking of Noble Hackett.
Okay, here you go. I got 5. He's starting to talk crap. All right, we got to get off. All right, hey, get off my guy. No, Joe, we're gonna be on your guy. We're gonna get off him now because we respect his cigar knowledge, but we're gonna get on him. When it comes to football, we can't get off him. We gotta stay on him. All right, Anthony Aids is out there. Anthony Aids says T.O. had a huge ego and McNabb had an ego, but T.O. got too comfy and McNabb got too comfy, and they could do no wrong, and they butted heads all the time. I agree with that.
It's two magnets. There's two magnets trying to get on the same space. Like, you know, it's water and oil. Like in the beginning, they did mix. Don't get me wrong. Before he got injured, all things was gravy. I think T.O. even said it, and he has been consistent talking about when the rift actually started to begin. It started to begin in the playoffs when Donovan, they kept asking Donovan, how can you win with T.O.? How are you going to do this without T.O.? And Donovan kept emphatically saying, we can win without T.O. T.O. doesn't make this team. I mean, he basically was saying the right things as a quarterback, cheering on his players. But T.O. being that alpha guy, he took that a different way.
Yeah, it was definitely personality clashes. That's what happened here. You're right. That being said, on a team that is well managed or whatever, because we look at the New England Patriots that I hate to look at because they're big cheaters to me. But anyway, one of the great things that Bill Belichick does outside of cheating is he manages egos. He has Tom Brady. He has a Randy Moss. He has a Corey Dillon. He's brought in some top name people to his team, but he's had them buy into the fact that we are doing what we have to do to win this championship. It's not about egos. It's not about stats. It's not about whatever. We are all doing our job to get to the ultimate goal of winning a championship. So I give him credit for that. And it was because of that we couldn't get past T.O. and McNabb's rift.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the end of the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. I want to say this before we go. Speaking of Noble Hackett, they have a food drive going on tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Heritage Park Playground, 1535 West Clearfield. Anybody in that area, just come down between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. You don't have to show your ID. You don't need nothing. All you need the
Where
ability.
is it again? Tell me that location again.
1535 West Clearfield Avenue.
So that's everybody. I know we span the globe for that. So that's not for you guys that are looking at us from Australia. You're not going to be able to make it. All right, that's not for you guys.
Yeah, just get
Look-
down there.
That
You don't
looking
need-
at us from international waters and all that. You're not going to make it. That's not for you, Christopher Burton, because you're down in North Carolina. That's not even for you, George Greenway, because you're down in Delaware and you're a Green Bay fan, so you don't care. So screw you. But that is for our Philadelphia Eagles fans that are in the Philadelphia area.
Mm.
You heard him. We have drives going on. Please say again, Pat, where you guys are coming from.
Well, they will be at 1535 West Clearfield Avenue. It's just a food giveaway. It's a food drive from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're available to come down, you don't need no ID. You don't even need a car. You can catch the bus there, and they will hand you a package of food, and you can just walk away with it. Listen, this is trying times for a lot of people, and we're going to our second wave right now of this COVID-19 or AKA coronavirus, as I drink in England. And just to do something to give back, I think is a lot of different community programs around this Philadelphia area, and even not in the Philadelphia area. There's a lot of different opportunities for people that need some food. Some eggs, some regular stuff that you would need to maybe not no surf and turf.
All right, no, I gotta
surf and
address
turf.
this. All right. So,
But you know what? they are giving out the essentials for everybody that needs something. If you need something and you're in the Philadelphia area, 1535 West Clearfield tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And just come there and show love. That's it.
all right. So in this coronavirus pandemic, there is a place where you guys, if you are suffering from unemployment, for not enough resources right now, because we are at record unemployment highs right now. So please take advantage of what Pat just put out there. Go down, take advantage of it. It's there. It's for you. It's for you to use. To address some of the comments out there, Dwight saying, "Yo, Dark Knight, you look like Shannon Sharp." I look better than Shannon Sharp. Anyway, no, Shannon Sharp is
Shay Sharp.
He's a hard body. I'm not a hard body.
Man, listen, Uncle
All
Sharp,
right.
you got those backwoods. You don't got no backwoods up there.
I ain't
You
got no
the
backwoods.
cigars.
And you know what else I'm not doing?
What's
I'm
that?
not drinking Henny. I don't drink Henny. That's not
You know
me.
what?
I
I
can't do
had
it.
Henny last week, and it's been a while. It was kind of sweet to me. I'm like, you know what? This is all right.
I can't do Henny. I'm sorry. I'll do any other bourbon whiskey, Irish whiskey,
Ski ball, man. That ski ball is
scotch
good.
or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I cannot do the cognac. Bill Kroll says, Bill, thank you, brother. He says, how was the surf and turf? The surf and perf. All right, I mean the surf and turf was excellent. Shell came down. Not only did he supply the porterhouse steaks and the lobster, but he came down and he actually cooked it. I fired the grill up, and Shell actually took the helm and said, "No, I'm gonna cook this," because he wanted it to come out right. So he cooked it all. So I couldn't ask for anything more. It was delicious. Jamie,
it is
this
the
my
Heritage
boy
Park
Tim,
playground.
fat brother here. Yo, what's up? Yo, Dante, that's my neighborhood. I know that's your neighborhood. All right, cool. So I look like Kumo D. All right.
Hey Dante,
That's a noob. I'll let a noob get away with that.
I want to say
that addresses
this,
the sound like the.
I want to say this. In the future on this show, we will be mentioning different food pantries and stuff of that nature that we get a wind of that's having different things at different outlets. So in the Philadelphia area, Delaware area, Jersey area, if I get information and I see it or I hear it on the radio, I will be sharing it on this show. It's just something that I think I need to do, and we need to do as a family, because we are a family.
Right.
But at the same time, we don't want to leave anybody out there in the dark. And I just want to do one more thing. It is July. It is getting July. My brother did bring Surf and Turf down to you guys, so I'm gonna smoke me a nice good Cuban cigar. I'm gonna rub it in your face because I got.
All right, he gonna rub it on her face.
Yes.
But you notice he didn't say, you know what, Dante? I'm gonna bring you down a lobster tail too because my brother
no,
did
I'm not.
it. I'm
not
going
gonna
to.
bring.
I'm all like,
I bring you. I want to bring you a good cigar. Forget the lobster.
No, I'm
gonna bring
only
you a good
kidding
one.
with you. You are in the midst of getting married next month, so if anything, we should be bringing up lobster tails and steaks to you. So I understand that.
I don't
We
got
still
you.
respect
I got a
that.
white
We
screen
know
behind
you're
me.
getting married in the middle of a pandemic, which can make things a little bit more difficult, but it's not going to
Yeah.
take away the fact that you are marrying the love of your life. I love Stephanie. I'm glad that you guys are getting married, and next
Appreciate that.
month it's going to happen. So we're going to be there, and we're going to turn up for you guys. So don't worry about what happened down here, because what's going to happen for you guys is going to be 10 times better. It's going to be the rest of your lives. So with that being said, man,
I'm taking a
thank
shot.
you guys. Yeah,
I'm
we
taking
thank
a
you guys
shot.
for tuning in to Eagles Talk. Next month, our one Patrick Sandlin will be marrying Stephanie Dowling. You
months.
see
That's 2
her in
months
the
from
chat
now.
room all the time.
That's
Stephanie Dowling.
It's 2 months. That's in September.
Oh, September? Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
Uncle
September.
Nearest
I'm
got
sorry.
you.
All right, Uncle Nearest got me. Okay, so we're a little bit more than a month away. So it's going to be September. It's going to be September for real?
The 3rd of September.
Okay, all right.
That
Because
day will always
my niece is getting
remember.
married in September also, so I thought you
Really?
guys was a week apart. But anyway, thank you guys, everybody out there. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back here next week, Thursday or Friday, either or. But thank you for tuning in tonight to Eagles Talk. I'm your man Dante the Dark Knight. For my co-host Pat
Go
Sandlin
Phillies.
and
Go
the other
Phillies.
Sandlin boy that I gave a pass. But next week I'm gonna start grinding them up. But next week, tune in and we'll be back. Give us the theme music. Let's take us out.
Go Eagle. Go Phillies.
All right.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback whack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen. It's Eagles Talk Live. Let's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green. It's from your people. Fly, Eagles fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat shelling. I take the dark job. Drop the stats on them.